welcome to another edition of The Manual. He's the Professor Alton Woods. I am Chip Rice, and man, did you see?
I saw a lot of money moving.
Man, Kyler Murray signed a contract for $230 million.
$230.
That would be cool over a lifetime.
Yeah,
But that's a
5 years. 160 guaranteed.
160 guaranteed.
104 upon signing.
Just for signing.
Once the ink dried. Once the ink was wet on the paper. 104 is coming no matter
Slide
what.
me this check.
Well, not all of it was in a signing bonus, so some of it will come down the road, but it's guaranteed no matter what.
Wow.
No matter what.
That's not bad.
Right.
For a skill set and people sometimes talk about the money that some of these athletes make, but there's certain things that they can do that less than 1/100% of the people on the planet can do.
Absolutely.
When you have an exclusive skill set, people will pay in order to see that thing.
Absolutely. So we should never say, if that was me, well, if that was you, you'd be part of the very few people walking the face of the earth that could do that.
Making that paper too.
But I can compare him to other people though.
Yeah.
So now 230, and he's 24, be 25 this year, which means the contract ends when he's about 30 years old. Mm-hmm. And you know how they inflate the rosters with height and weight and all that. So they list him at 5'10", 207, which means he's probably 5'9", 202, 203.
He's 5'10" in cleats.
In cleats and a helmet. but so for a quarterback that size, with his style of play, boy, Arizona put a lot of eggs in that basket. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it because it's the going rate.
Right.
But it's a lot of eggs in that basket. And so now the Lamar Jackson watch is on.
Yeah, because the durability of Kyler Murray is going to come up. But in my estimation, Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. He has more accomplishments than him. And so he should probably get more than Murray and a little less than Favre.
Right. Or the same amount as Murray with more guarantee. Could be that.
Right. But that man has an MVP under his
He does. People are not sold on Lamar yet, though, and I think his passing is still a bit rudimentary. So he's got to improve in that area.
It is. I think he has to get better there.
Right now, that might have something to do with coaching and scheme and all of that too, right? Because I mean, somebody's got to help him get better, right? But nonetheless, he gonna get paid. That much we know.
Yeah.
That much we know. The rest of it doesn't even matter.
And Lamar, if you're listening to us, do not go to camp unless you get your money. We do not want to see that man sustain another injury some kind of way, and then them say, "Oh well."
And 230 becomes 230. 230 million become $230. You might not want to do that.
Right? No man, get your money.
Get your paper, Lamar.
Get your money. It's another edition of The Manual. So today we are talking about a topic that is near and dear to our hearts.
That's right.
Maybe it's because we've lived it out,
Yeah.
but we wanted to talk about baby daddies.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that as a baby daddy I would want my baby mama to know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, what we now know is that a lack of communication, a lack of foresight, in trying to work with each other in relationships causes a lot of problems. And sometimes there are things that are not said and things that are not understood. And so we act out of what's not understood.
That's right.
And so maybe if we can tell the baby mamas out there a few things that the baby daddies are thinking, it might even help in
That's right.
raising the child, which
That's
is what
right.
we're going to have to do together anyway.
That's right. And you know, while there's a lot of folks, I'm sure, who are deadbeat dads, and there's deadbeat moms too. Now, we don't like to talk about that, but that exists much more than we care to talk about. But so I say all of that to say that as a baby daddy, don't assume that I'm gonna be the stereotype. Don't assume that I'm gonna be like what we propagate as a baby daddy.
Yeah, because just because I left you didn't mean I left the child.
Right. Absolutely. 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 So don't put those assumptions, because if you assume negative intent, then it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Anything I do wrong will fulfill what you expect.
See, I told you.
See, I told you. Right. And by the way, stop saying I told you. You didn't tell me. In fact, if you'd have told me the right thing, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, some of these things could have been resolved.
Could have been resolved. Right.
So in full disclosure, when I had my daughter, I was young, and I was not as present as I should have been in her life. It was more of an event type situation. If you need something, if a birthday, Christmas, something like that, but just not being an everyday dad like I should have been. And one of those reasons, it was out of fear, and it was out of selfishness, which I openly admit. It was just I didn't know what it took to be a father at the time, which I should have investigated. Some of it was just being selfish, that I still want to go on with my life. The point being that after a few years, I got myself together spiritually and begin to understand what being the right kind of father is, and have fully embraced it. And and I'm totally active in my children's lives now. Right. The point is that sometimes who he is not who he's going to be.
That's right. That's right.
And so you have to sometimes give them an opportunity to become. It does not absolve us of responsibility.
That's right.
But don't just decide that this is who this person is and not give them an opportunity to become.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say this with all due sensitivity and respect. Get over it. Yeah. And here's what I mean by that. We didn't work.
It didn't work.
For whatever reason. My fault, your fault, our fault, nature's fault, bad energy, whatever your thing is, right? We didn't work.
Didn't work.
But don't bring that energy into my parental relationship with my child.
Right.
Meaning, don't set the child up from day one for me to have to overcome stuff based on the baggage that you and I carry.
Right.
The child doesn't know that baggage and doesn't need to know that baggage.
Absolutely. They're not aware of it until you present it.
Until you present it. There were times when I absolutely disagreed with my daughter's mother. But I didn't say that in front of my daughter.
Okay. Because
whatever opinion she has, she needs to form on her own.
Right.
And through the relationship with her mother, not because she's hearing it from me.
Right.
Right. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Now I can definitely attest to that, because there were several situations that we talked about where it's like, okay, I can't say this to the child.
That's right.
Because then the child will say, oh, well, my mom is trifling,
or whatever.
My dad is trifling, whatever it is. Like, no, the child over time will make their own opinions of whatever the situation is. You have to let my child decide who I am.
That's right.
Don't you tell them who I am.
Right.
Let them decide.
Let them decide
if I'm active in their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would also add, we have to be careful about the punitive nature of some of these relationships. And what I mean by that is this. I'm a proponent of child support, whether it's formal or informal. Every couple has to figure out whether the arrangement is going to be formal or informal, frankly, based on the integrity of character of the people. Right. So when I had my daughter, I was 32, was doing well, and it was never a doubt in my mind whether I was going to take care of my child.
Okay.
So it was never a need for anybody to take me anywhere, because I was going to do everything anyway.
Okay.
Now, that's me. I understand there's circumstances where sometimes the integrity, character of the people is in question, and you might need something formal to enforce
bring
it.
The court system into somebody and say, okay, well, no, this is what needs to be done, and this is when you need to do it.
That's right. But whatever it is, whatever your agreement is, it shouldn't be a hard stick to be used because you want to punish a person for something that had nothing to do with the circumstance.
Right.
So fine, we have an informal agreement on child support, and I pay it consistently, but now I'm late, something happened in my life, and now I ran into some trouble and I'm late, but because you still ticked off about the relationship, now you using my lateness, not my intention,
Right.
Not my heart,
Right.
but you're using my lateness to try to beat me over the head with it. That's crazy.
To get back
right?
at me,
and
to
that's
make me
punitive.
suffer.
Right. Because I never understood, I grew up with my mother and father, so I grew up where we were valued as parts of the family and they took great care of us. And so in my mind, I just never understood people who didn't take care of their kids. But then I saw some situations, and I'm not saying it's right, but I do understand how the emotion and the turmoil and the pain of interacting with the other parent makes you say, you know what, I can't do this.
Right.
Again,
Right.
not absolving.
It
You
is.
have to work through that.
You have to.
Because that's a responsibility you have, but I understand how difficult it can be.
When it becomes that contentious where it's just like,
Absolutely.
oh my goodness, are we trying
Right.
to help the child here?
Right.
Or
What are we doing?
Are we battling with each other for something that is over and done with?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That can be real hard. Now, something else that I thought that you had alluded to in a previous conversation, where sometimes you have to acknowledge that the way we had this child,
Oh, yeah.
it has a direct bearing on
Absolutely.
what happens as far as the relationship is concerned.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times it was just fun and sex.
Yes.
There was never a relationship as far as the two individuals.
Right.
It was just fun and sex. So
Right.
now, for you to want that person to commit to you,
That's right.
they never committed in the first place.
Absolutely.
It was us being two irresponsible adults,
Mm-hmm.
and we made a baby.
That's right.
Now the responsibility is the child, so we need
That's
to figure
right.
out how to work together for the child.
That's right. That's
but
right.
So to have an expectation that something is going to happen by us is far fetched.
Absolutely.
It could be a miracle. It could be an anomaly. But in most cases, and not in most cases, but in a lot of cases, it was just fun and sex.
Fun and sex. Fun and sex. And you've said it before, and I want to reiterate it here. You can't hold a person to an expectation that you haven't communicated and they've agreed to.
Right.
Right. And so you can't decide in your mind, I really want to be with this person, but we both act like it's a very informal, no strings kind of situation.
Right.
And then when a baby comes, now you're going to try to use that as the opportunity to establish a relationship that we never agreed to begin with. And then when the person doesn't do it, now, oh, they're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like that, you have to say something.
You gotta say something.
You got to say, okay, well, I think I'm getting into you, and this is more of an emotional thing for
That's
me.
right.
And so, what are your feelings?
Absolutely.
Because at the minute that they say, well, I like you, but as soon as they say I like you, but that's the point where you got to be okay. I'm out.
That's when you pull your panties back up.
Yes, ma'am.
Or
say,
your underwear back up,
no,
and you got to get up out of there.
Say, yeah, this is not gonna work, because if we produce a child, then you're gonna always be a butt.
That's right.
That'll
Always.
preach right there.
Yes, indeed.
You'll always be a butt.
Always be a butt.
So you got to fix that. And guys, you have to understand that while women may think you cute, attractive, and everything else, a lot of what they're looking for is security.
That's right.
And so you got to be careful, especially if you are a person of means, to make sure that this is not about your security. Because I've seen situations with some professional athletes. I've seen it myself, where they come out and there be women lined up, and I know they are not there for autographs.
Maybe they come in to pray with them. Or pray on
Pray.
them.
Yeah, P-R-E-Y. That's what that
P-R-E-Y.
is. And so you're going to end up having a child with somebody whose intentions were to secure themselves.
That's right.
And this is the reason how they're going to do it. So that's not going to bode well for the child.
Nope.
Because you'll get mad at her and then end up not treating the child the way that they should be supposed to be treated.
Correct.
But you're mad at her.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
You gotta be careful about stuff like that.
That's right. I think one other thing that comes to mind is no matter, I've taken a very positive angle from the baby daddy's perspective thus far, but let's go back. Maybe we did screw the relationship up. Maybe we treated you wrong.
Yep.
We lied, we cheated, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean we can't and don't change and evolve.
Right.
Right. And so
Right.
so it's amazing how you know, every New Year's, you know, we get all of the pictures and the memes of the lady stepping over things, and you know, this is going to be a new thing, and I'm evolving and changing, and this year's the year of, and all of that.
But you hadn't deleted his number out.
Yeah, you ain't delete the number, but know that just because we don't post all of that doesn't mean we don't change. We evolve too.
We do.
Right, and because I know we talked about this, I think, in the previous episode, but it's some ladies I just want to apologize to.
Because I was not the right person in that moment.
Right.
I was selfish. I thought with the wrong head. I'm just making bad decisions. I'm manipulating because I know if I say this or this, then I can get what I want.
This or that.
You know, and then if you grow up, a key component for us has been Christ. But when you grow up, you're just like, you know what? That's not who I'm supposed to be.
That's right. That's right.
Let me be better.
That's right.
You know, and unfortunately, some women get mad at that person because they got better.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's just like, well, why weren't you that person when we were together? But I am letting you know that I can change.
That's right.
I can
That's
be
right.
better.
Speaking of being better, the Bible says, "He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing."
Good thing.
And obtaineth favor. So, baby mama should understand that if the man has a wife, a fiance, a girlfriend that treats the kid well, that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. You know, it's one of those situations where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? I mean, you get somebody and they ignore the child, you got a problem with that. You get somebody and they don't treat your child well, you have an issue with that.
Or don't treat them like like the other child.
Like the other child or whatever. And or you get somebody who treats the child really well and now they're trying to take your place, you got an issue with that too. Right? At the end of the day, I've never seen a child have a bad life because they had too much love.
Right.
So if your baby daddy has moved on, and hopefully you have too, because normally that's really where this issue comes in, right? But if your baby daddy has moved on and is doing right by your child and has taken the time to bring a woman into their lives that is also going to do right by your child, then you need to fall on your knees and thank the Lord.
Absolutely. We want you to do well. A baby daddy wants to communicate about, I want you to find the man of your dreams. I want you to find the person that's going to fulfill your life. Ain't nobody sitting around saying, I'm the man, she ain't going to never find nobody better than me. No, that's not the conversation that's taking place. We want you to have great success. Go on, get on with your life by all means.
We want you to leave us alone.
No, I'm the diplomat.
Because they sitting there saying that ain't what they saying when they talking. Well, you right. This what we mean, but what we saying is leave me alone.
That's another little slight piece.
Yeah. Find you a good man that's not gonna do my child wrong, and we happy. We all happy. Absolutely. We all happy.
Because we got to get on with life. We got this child to raise.
Yes, Lord.
We got things. We got to get them in the right place, and hopefully they won't make the same mistakes that we made.
That's right.
Or they can even, if they do, they can understand that it doesn't have to be this way.
Absolutely, it doesn't have to be this way.
That mamas, we can have a respectful, productive relationship together as we raise a child. It can be done. Absolutely,
it can be done. So do it.
Do it. Now look, y'all need to like, subscribe, share, comment on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at the Manual for You. The Manual for You. We would love to hear your feedback and understand what you're thinking.
Right. Tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah, tell us if we're wrong. Right. Tell us if we're coming off as chauvinistic or too male dominant, not taking some stuff into consideration. We know people gonna be in their feelings, and we want to get in your feelings and tell us what's going on.
That's right, get in them.
But let's have some dialogue about this. So until next time, this has been another edition of the Manual. The Professor Alton Woods. I'm Chip Rice, and y'all have a great day.